I was on air the day that we saw the elevator tape of Ray Rice get released.
Oh,
and remember, that is on the border of the Ohio River.
Yeah.
West Virginia is in our call radius. And I just remember, it's, hey, caller, you're on the Sports Fan. And some ho-bunk dude's like, I think that deserved it. I came up and was like, yeah, real sorry, she did not deserve that.
This episode of What the Pod Was That is brought to you by BLNK brand. If you own a business, restaurant, or sports team and you're ready to shake things up with that new, unique image, you need to use BLNK brand. BLNK specializes in brand identity, including logos and graphics for business cards, flyers, banners, and signs. BLNK offers printing services to help with your clothing needs. Look, when it comes to talent and service, there is no one better. For more information, you can search Facebook for BLNK, or you can email blankcanvas@whatthepodwasthat.com. That's BLNKCANVS@whatthepodwasthat.com. You can find links in the Friends of the Pod section of our website. Visit whatthepodwasthat.com.
What the Pod Was That may have content and language that isn't suitable for some. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live from the Maddie Johnson Podcast Studio at GOT Sound Studio in Columbia, South Carolina, this is What the Pod Was That. All material played on the show was found on the internet. The opinions about that material are our own. Please follow the show on Twitter at WhatThePodPod. Let's start the show. All right, welcome to another episode of What the Pod Was That, the show that has been described as the best audio version of something you should probably be watching. I am Barrett Gruber, and welcome the only man to pull off a wardrobe malfunction and then trend at the top of a very specific FBI watch list, Zach King.
You forget to zip your zipper one time. Episode 13. I'm glad to be here.
I don't know why I write these so angry. I think you know what it is. It's at the end of the day. It's at the end of the day. All right, and welcome to the pod, the man who knows more about baseball than hygiene, broadcast and media relations manager for the Columbia Fireflies, John Kocsis Jr. Sorry, John, don't hate me.
We're always saying that. We're like, John knows more about baseball than hygiene.
That's always
it's right there.
Sorry.
Yeah, you live at a ballpark 15 hours a day, and it's what happens.
Truth is, I generally write these for Cari and Zach, so they come across, again, I'm writing them at the end of the day.
Mean-spirited.
It's usually right before, like we've already decided, like, oh, we're getting together tomorrow. Okay, yeah. So it's
like, oh, I have to hang out with these losers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Barrett has a bunch of broken pencils in his office just from angrily writing.
That's fair. Yeah, no, that's fair.
His boss is like, why does his productivity drop after 4 p.m.? That's when I start writing What the Pod intros.
Yeah. That's kind of you that you think that I'm still working after 4 p.m.
No, he's playing baseball with me.
Potentially, if he's anywhere nearby. Okay, so you guys know how this works. Basically, we come up with some things we find on the internet, usually TikTok, YouTube, that sort of thing, and we share them to try and either make each other laugh or to spur some sort of a conversation. And real quick, Cari's not here because we're doing this episode without her.
Shots have been fired.
It's maybe a permanent change.
No,
it's up to you, Cari.
She legitimately doesn't even know we're recording this. So, I decided that there isn't going to be an order that we're not going to roll dice for tonight, because normally we would roll dice to see who goes in order.
You can just say you forgot the dice.
No, they're on our phones.
Yeah.
We keep them on our phones now. So what we do is we throw our phones at the wall and whatever. No, that's wrong. So, but in lieu of that, I went ahead and just decided the order based on what information I was emailed first. So,
I'm first.
So we're gonna go with Zach first. And you know what I think about? I haven't even tested the audio yet. So this is going to be the first test of the audio, just to see that it works. And this is the stupidest thing about TikTok, is that every time you start, it always has it like muted. So.
Well, you are viewing it on a desktop. I feel like that's abnormal for the app.
Yeah, it's very true. So.
All right, this is an oldie. Well, it's an oldie where I come from. Arnold Schwarzenegger is a proctologist.
All right, Mr. Johnson, it is fantastic to see you here. All right, please bend over and show me a butthole.
He's so good.
I wouldn't have been able to, like, if I just saw that, I would not have guessed.
I would have thought
spot on Arnold impersonation.
dude,
from
that's
that
spot
guy.
on Marty McFly.
Yeah,
that was fantastic.
He played Marty McFly in the Back to the Future video game.
Did he?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
He's voiced a lot of characters, but his Arnold kills me.
Yeah.
He always does these videos. He's like, I'm doing things that Arnold Schwarzenegger could say because I can do his voice.
That's crazy though.
Yeah.
Like I listen to Howard Stern and he'll have an Arnold impersonator come on every now and then. And like I think I'm impressed by that one. But
that dude's pretty. I think he's probably the best I've heard.
I do not want Arnold Schwarzenegger inspecting anything.
Pull down your pants and show me a butthole.
Not anything. I remote. Not a
I don't want to go to a proctologist who refers to it as the butthole.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a really valid point.
Me as well.
This is crude, sir. I mean, it's layman's, but you're a professional.
Do you? I know. I'm of the age where I'm getting there to the point where there are some inspections that are going to have to happen. I have not.
Same,
I have not jumped on that yet.
No,
So.
not yet, but it's coming.
Yeah, it is coming. All right, this is my next one. For some reason, I think I can't remember exactly what this is, but I called it the Alabama Medical Transport or something like that.
4 rocks by the drain, oh, there is Sudafed on the counter. Then we put it in a beaker and we pray it don't blow up.
And the meth is so delicious, all the fiends will come a-running. And I'm from Alabama.
Yeah, that's why I called it
So
Alabama.
the guy who's doing that, I have a video that I shared with you as well that is him as well. He is so funny. That was very Alabama meth country.
Yeah, I feel and not to. I don't know anybody from Alabama currently.
I do.
Do you,
Keith?
Oh, is Keith from Alabama? How's his meth lab going?
Oh, he's completely addicted. He's like the meth in North Carolina is not the same as it in Alabama. Not as pure.
Yeah,
Fresh.
I knew he had moved to North Carolina, right? So that was I don't. This started playing and I started watching it, and I'm like, oh, okay, what's going on?
Wait, have you seen all these already?
No.
Okay.
No.
That's not fair.
What I do is
He gets a chance to react, so he knows what to say.
Oh, this one's gonna
So-
be funny. I'll make a big laugh.
So what I do is I plug the URL into Google, and it'll give me all the information as far as like what it says here. So then I just try and come up with a title for it, and sometimes I'm on, sometimes I'm off.
Spicy veggie straws.
Your For You page must be wild. Just a lot of URLs, and
It's
then
a-
you go immediately
what's-
out of TikTok.
You know what's really funny? I don't ever check my For You page.
That's
How
the
do you
whole
find
point of
videos?
TikTok.
Oh,
Yeah.
because I always go to the one that's to the left. That's like Friends or whatever.
You just go to Friends.
Yeah, typically.
Oh, like I delete Friends because like that starts coming up now, and I'm like, oh, you're like the only person I care to even see if a video comes on.
Yeah, those can't be interesting.
Oh, Barrett's feet again.
Well, everyone's like, oh man, that one had 8 million likes, and then
Oh, Barrett
Barrett's probably like, oh man, that got 12 likes. That's a huge TikTok. It's trending.
Barrett mows his goddamn lawn and gets 4,000 likes. I don't know how that happens.
Well, are you like lacing up the grass clipper 3000?
It's not even good video. It's just video
It's
from
from a
surveillance.
security camera. The only thing I do is I'll put the Home
Down,
Depot
down, down,
the Home
down.
Depot theme song to it, and then it picks
This
up.
is proof that Gen Z kids will literally watch
Watch
anything.
anything.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even that. It like. So this is the thing.
That's what America's about. Guy mowing his lawn to some badass rock music.
Yeah, because I'm listening to Home Depot.
ting, ting, ting.
I have to believe that there is something wrong with the TikTok now, because I feel like every video I watch, it's somebody telling me, oh yeah, follow, if you're so and so and so and so and you like this or you like that, then we should be friends. And I'm like, you're right, we should be friends.
Are the ones that are like, you notice there's no hashtags in this video, so if you came across it, you're part of art TikTok and you should follow me. I'm like, nah.
Man, you're part of art TikTok.
Art TikTok. Oh,
What
car
happened
TikTok.
there?
All kinds of TikTok. There's a lot of weird TikTok out there.
Oh, there is.
There's
There
atheist
certainly
TikTok, Christian TikTok. There's all kinds of TikTok.
Which you get it on the atheist TikTok too?
Oh, I get them both now.
Fair.
You had a pretty wild week. Sunday, you're on Christian TikTok. Monday, atheist TikTok. Work will do that to you.
You know how there's no God? I'm at work. Yeah.
I think that's fair. All right, this is we're gonna have the first one from John. So let me turn off the audio there or turn on the audio. I don't understand why this is so complicated. Okay.
Okay, got it.
No!
Oh,
So
good reaction.
I guess for the people listening,
Yeah.
it's a dog with one of the automatic ball throwing things. I know there are tons of these out there, but he's standing directly in front of it and just putting the ball in, and then maybe 6 inches away from it, just getting smacked in the face and catching the ball.
Yeah.
I gotta be
Like,
honest.
he's quick.
I think the Fireflies would probably do well with him, like out in.
He'd be a
left
really
field.
good center fielder.
Are we making
Center
like
field,
one more Airbud and he's just in the center?
I think
field?
there wasn't there already an Air Bud. that
Dude,
was
if he was
a-
catching
there's
footballs,
totally
he better
one.
have caught baseball.
Yeah, he did
already.
baseball, basketball. I think he did
Gymnastics.
soccer as well. I mean,
That is impressive.
It was just like last year that the original Airbud died or something. So that
Oh,
dog
really?
lived like 30 years.
Yeah.
I gotta ask though, doesn't him standing that close sort of defeat the purpose of?
Oh,
of what it's supposed to do?
100%. But I think it's just making fun of the caption on it. Just a kid in his iPad, right?
Yeah.
It's like I've got 2 little brothers, 12 and 7. You hand them an iPad that's like a babysitter,
I
like,
have twin, almost 8-year-olds. That it's the same way. I can hand them the iPad and be like, "Hey, I'm gonna run out for y'all want McDonald's or whatever? I'm gonna run out and pick it up." And then I'm like, "Oh wait, wife's out of town, or wife's out for the night already. Are y'all gonna be okay if I run out and get it? We're good." Yeah.
So we know the wife doesn't listen to the podcast because he was
Oh,
okay
she
with
listens.
telling that story.
No, she listens.
My daughter's almost 2, and she has a little Kindle tablet, and she'll just find somewhere to lay on her side and watch it like this. Like, where did she go? And walk into the kitchen. She's just laying on the kitchen floor staring at
It's
it.
been 3 days. They don't need food, water, affection. They just need an iPad.
Entertainment. Give it to them.
Yeah, I'm not entirely certain that my kids need any of that anyway.
Oh, this one's fantastic. I can't remember. Barrett has them all now, so I'm just like, oh yeah. Usually I play my own and remember what it was.
Yeah. This. Well, so I'm not going to break any news, but there's the potential that the format of our show will change, and we're coming up with some things. So,
Oh, wow.
this is Zach's.
Fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
Zach's been let go. You're telling him on the pod?
The last episode, he
I
told
came
me
up
to
with the
come
name of the podcast. You can't fire me.
See, and I had it muted, and that's where my mistake is what I need to do is while you guys are cracking jokes, I should obviously set it up so that it's ready to go, and then I can just hit play.
Your mother, she fell off a skateboard during a petty theft robbery. Yeah, man.
Seemed like her. Okay.
Yeah, she tried to ollie during the police chase and busted her mouth on a sprinkler. So she caught another charge down here at the precinct. She gave a lap dance to a police dog. And yeah, we're gonna need you to come down here and bail her out and get the rest of her things, her property. See here on the list, she has in her possession, she has fish tank rocks, a TV knob, and a pack of Tuscan salad dressing. What time will you be here, Brett?
I'll have to talk to my boss and see when I can get off, but then I'll head down there, I guess.
All right, you need to hurry up, man. She just ate a pencil.
Get your mother in her bag of fish tank rocks.
DHKM. Have you watched other stuff from them before?
No,
that's
I
the
just
first
came
time?
across that one, and I actually sat through the intro. Normally, it was one I would skip, but it ended up being hilarious.
That's what happens when you watch the For You page.
Exactly.
The goal that is
100%.
For You page.
100%. Yeah, so I'll have to start paying more attention to my For You page. Any opportunity, West Virginia, Ohio, have you ever had to pick your mother up from the police station?
I have not had to pick my mother up from the police station.
I've had to pick up my brother and my dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only time not a police station, the only time I've ever been to a strip club was, I know this sounds sad.
Strip club and police station.
They're different.
This
I
is
get
good.
that.
That's synonymous. Yeah.
But the only time I've ever picked anybody up from a strip club was like I had to go pick up one of the DJs that we used to work with because he hadn't shown up for his shift and nobody knew where he was at. So it was like we're getting desperate. Barrett's gonna have to go on the air. And
Welcome Cinnamon to the stage. Greg,
Yeah.
you got to come to work.
Yeah. So we wound up driving over to the strip club where he was handing out twos, and we brought him back.
Old Lucky Twos.
I think that's the only time I've ever had to pick anybody up from a place. Now that I think about it,
Not even the airport?
I usually say no.
Oh, fair enough. I used to say no a lot too. No is such a good word.
It's appropriate. I don't remember. I think this is one of my shares.
I got some going on that day.
What do you got?
I haven't
going
even
on?
told you the date yet.
Did you know that falcons have a lifespan of only 12 to 15 years? That means that every falcon alive today was born in the 21st century. And that makes them Millennium Falcons.
I figured you
Get
guys-
out of here, sir.
Oh, see,
Get out of
thought-
here.
I thought you'd like that. That was a Star Wars joke.
Oh, God, we took a lot of roads to get there, but we got there.
Yeah. Oh, you think the delivery was too long on his joke?
He's like, that's what I thought it was about to be the Hummingbird book, kid. You took my 24 Hummingbird books. I just talking. Remember that video?
Yeah.
God, that's funny. Listeners who have listened to all the episodes, John.
Sorry, guys. I didn't realize that Barrett had like 4 podcasts. I thought there was only.
You were trying to keep up. I get it. Look, I get it. My family doesn't have the ability to keep up. So
No, my wife does. This is the only one she likes.
She's honest about it. That's what's important.
Yeah, my grandparents like the other one, All About Nothing.
do they? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So different demographics, right?
Well, I did not know we played to the geriatric
Well,
crowd.
they're both very into politics.
Oh,
Very
okay.
political. So they very much enjoyed like Judd being on and all
Yeah.
that. So
Yeah, Matt was a really good interview.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Matt and Daniel Duncan. His interview comes out on the 11th of July, so that was a really good one.
I thought it already came out.
Well, I kind of released it early on Twitter
So
because
it's on
it was a
Twitter.
really good interview. So I thought I'll just go ahead and drop it on Twitter and see how many of you. And it's gotten a decent amount. You know, I think that there's a good possibility it's because Daniel also retweeted it, so his
Pretty
followers
big.
got it.
He
So.
used his like catfishing profiles just to spread it.
It's the Kevin Durant burner.
Yeah. Exactly that. All right. I think this is one of John's here, so we'll I got
Another animal one.
there's a theme. You were trying
theme
to
here.
assume the theme is what I think you were
I was trying to guess a theme.
Look at that big boy right there. You got a leaf in your mouth. Look at that.
No.
Do you imagine you're trying to do something nice for your family, so you plan a trip to take the wife and kids to Disney World? Get up to your eyeballs because of it. You and your wife are already in the talks of a divorce, but you say, no, this trip's gonna save this goddamn family. So you've been driving for the past 20 hours with nonstop rain, with your kids in the back just being fucking heathens. You finally get to the Sunshine State, you look at the exit to the right, and it's a gator tour. Your kids want to go, you say, sure, why not? Anything to get out of this fucking car. You finally get in there, the kids are actually having fun for once, your wife looks you in your eyes and says, I love you. She hasn't told you she loved you in the past 6 fucking months. All of a sudden you hear a scream, and you see Joe Dirt here getting his jaw ripped off by a goddamn dinosaur. Now your kids are crying and throwing up at
The sad thing is, he was cut off at a point where I think it could have been elevated.
Have you heard his video about the chips?
I have not.
Okay, so he has one about chips that is just a tirade as well. And I love that guy. He's so funny.
That's hilarious. And atypical from some of the Disney trips I've been on. So.
Well, this is boring as shit, and I hate you more. A divorce is definitely happening.
Yeah, no, it's
first time I went to Disney World, we got stuck on It's a Small World After All for like 2 hours.
okay, but where? Okay, this
It was
is
in
important.
the German section.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it was not ideal. And then like slowly, I think it ends in like a Spanish section, but it was like we waited for 2 hours for the ride that is not even thrilling. And this was a trip where it was like my dad's family, my uncle's family, and then like their college roommate's family.
Right.
And so my twin and I were the oldest people in that group of the kids.
Yeah.
So we're in like, I think we're in 7th grade at this point. So we're doing It's a Small World After All for my uncle's kids who are like 5 and 6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then 2 of the college roommates' kids are like 7 and 9. So they're stoked to go to It's a Small World After All. And then we get stuck and we're all in the boats together and the kids are like, I'm bored. I have to go to the bathroom. You know, like,
just plop it overboard because it's Small World. Man. We're gonna do this.
It's a small world and there is a river plumbing.
I have to also point out though, Small World and some of the other it's one of the rides that has air conditioning. Like it is a giant facility that has air conditioning.
You go to Carowinds and you do the wait for the ride. You go to Disney World sometimes because it's 150 degrees and it rains every day, right? You do the ride for the wait.
Yes.
I did. We went to Disney World when I was like 11 and it rained like for the first day. And then like we went back the second day. But I got to ride the ride that Bob Iger, I think was his name. He was the president of Disney for that time.
Okay.
But it was a violent ride. Like you went into it, it was an alien who escapes out of a tube and like has the lights start flickering and they have these shoulder rests that will push down like the alien's walking on you. It's like a alien like xenomorph.
This
type.
was not
Disney?
the president's thing.
No, they closed the ride down. Like I'm in a small window of people who actually got to ride this ride. They had it where like you would hear the scientists scream and gurgle, and it would spray you like it was their blood.
Did they rebrand this with the Lilo and Stitch ride? Where Stitch
I think they just fixed the whole thing because it had nothing Disney about it. And they're like, oh, so that was kind of a violent ride, Bob. And he's like, sorry. They're like, not in charge of parks anymore. Go.
So all of the rides at Disney are all designed by like the Imagineers. Like what sect of the Imagineers came up with this ride?
They were all in therapy. Some group counseling came out.
I think that they we have a nice alien ride. And Bob's like, it doesn't have any blood. That's not the kind of aliens I like. Get back in there, you Mouseketeer bitch. And like, fix it.
Well, Men in Black opened up at that Universal. It's right down the road. We got to do something similar to that. They could shoot the aliens. You shoot the aliens at Universal. We got to compete.
No, you're
with
here
that.
for a terror nightmare ride.
Here they put their weight on your shoulders.
It was a crazy ride because I'm just like freaking out, and my dad's like, "This is awesome!" And it was just like you would see the alien like escape from the tube animatronic, and the lights would cut and like flicker, and you would just feel like, and chung, 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 like it's running over everybody. It was really cool.
So Zach, you still don't watch alien movies? I take it.
Yeah, I loved it. First rated R movie I saw in theaters was Starship Troopers when that came out. So that tells you how much my dad cared about what rated R movies I watched.
I enjoyed Starship Troopers. That was one of my favorite.
That was like 97.
So I'm gonna say that was
I was
before
9.
my time.
I was 9 if that counts. Barrett was graduating high school.
My first
literally
ever
was
memory,
graduating high school.
Yeah, my first ever memory was in 97. Was Game 7 of the World Series. I'm from Cleveland.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's fair.
And I remember, I can't remember who I said it to, my dad, my uncle, whatever, but we're at a family party watching Game 7.
Yeah.
And everyone's upset because the Indians lose. Spoiler alert for those who didn't watch the sport thing from 30 years ago. I think you mean the
Guardians.
Yeah, right. And so I go, don't worry, they'll play again tomorrow. They'll win tomorrow. And my first memory ever is either my dad or my uncle saying, there is no tomorrow.
I thought it was going to be. And the first memory that I ever have was being bitch slapped across the face into the next room.
Mesa hadn't given up a savior.
Yeah, I don't recall the 97 because the Braves weren't playing in it.
That was like the first year in the 90s, right?
Yeah, it was.
95.
It was definitely one of the first times in the 90s.
Mom, when are we going to go back to the World Series? Not till 2021.
That was a long wait.
That was a very long wait.
How long have you been waiting with Cleveland?
48. I mean, they've been to the World Series 3 times in my lifetime.
That's true.
They've lost in Game 7 twice.
So, okay, let me ask you this: how difficult is it to not call them the Indians anymore? To call them the Guardians? Like, do you find that you slip up?
It gets difficult when I have to bounce back and forth.
Yeah.
So anything in the past is still the Indians, right? So if you're talking about Edwin Encarnacion, he was an Indian, not a Guardian.
Right.
And so I see myself sometimes talking about the Francisco Lindor trade, for example. So Andres Jimenez is a current member of the Guardians.
Right.
But the Cleveland Indians traded Francisco Lindor for Jimenez, Josh Wolf, whatever. And so Jimenez is playing better for the Guardians this year than Lindor is for the Mets. And you're like, so now you're going back and forth. And sometimes it'll be like the third or fourth between the two. And it's like Indians. I'm like, no.
See, but y'all got Major League too, which is too awesome to have your team be part of such a freaking historic movie.
And we also said, we can't have Bob Uecker. He's in Milwaukee, but we're going to steal him for this, and everyone's going to assume that he's an Indians broadcaster.
Yeah. I didn't know any better when I watched the first time I watched Major League. I was like
Bob Uecker,
the guy from Mr. Belvedere. And then of course it was after that I had to do a deep dive into who Bob Uecker was, and I was like Bob Uecker used to play for the Braves. So that's crazy. it would not have occurred to me that the guy that was on Mr. Belvedere not only played for the Braves, but also was not the announcer.
Have you ever listened to one of his real-life broadcasts, though?
Yeah.
Because he is legitimately that funny in real-life broadcasts all the time.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a shtick for a movie. Like, he'll bring up playing stories and stuff, and he goes, well, the only thing I ever led the league in was pass balls. And it's true, he had Necro, a knuckleballer, throwing to him, but he always brings up, like, these anecdotes that he makes hilarious, and it's entertainment first is always his thing.
Yeah.
He, I want to say that was one of the things that I remembered the most was the learning that he was not the actual announcer for the Cleveland Indians. Because I was disappointed, but I will turn on a Brewers game and they'll switch over to the radio sometimes, and they'll throw Bob Uecker or they'll just talk to him. Yeah. So good for the Brewers.
Yeah.
Good for the Brewers, and great season they're having too. I'm very happy for them. Okay, moving on to the next one.
Oh my God, you're literally gaslighting me right now.
We're not gaslighting you. It's just a fact. Tom Hanks is not an Iron Man.
Wow, that's not much.
Tiff, you really shouldn't throw around that word so casually.
Yeah, gaslighting's like a big deal. Oh, is it? Oh, thank you so much for mansplaining that to me.
They're both women.
Oh, so because they're women, their opinion doesn't matter. Okay.
Stop looking at me like I agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Now we're gatekeeping agreement.
Can you stop? Stop whatever you're doing right now?
So now you're literally murdering me? That's progressive.
Oh my God! Oh my God! I didn't know who did that.
Oh, it's probably no one, right?
Tiff, you're bleeding everywhere.
And that must be so nasty and gross for you, Lucas. But you know what? Blood is a completely natural cycle.
Hey guys, look. Tom Hanks is an Iron Man.
Took a lot of hops.
That's pretty much how you argue with any right-wing person. They're like, "Oh, you're gaslighting." You're like, "That's not what that means." Straw man. That's not that either. So, okay. You're a walking logical fallacy.
Oh yeah. Do you know anyone in your life that uses those terms or cliches incorrectly?
No.
No, I don't think I do either.
These are passerbys.
I will say gaslighting and stuff like that, I feel like is just used so much by the college kids these days that it's, my era started using literally as figuratively.
Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The people under me are using gaslighting like that now.
Yeah. No, it's the worst. You're using literally when you mean figuratively.
All right, this is one of my favorites, and we found this several years ago.
What was this from?
Have you ever been to High Point, North Carolina?
Yes.
Okay, so the High Point, North Carolina has a baseball team that plays the Blowfish here in Lexington, over there in Lexington, and they're called the High Toms. They're from High Point, and it made me think, oh, what else is in High Point? So I decided to go and find this.
We all just get along.
At the Red House Furniture,
we can.
At the Red
Oh yeah. This is my morning my mystical morning.
AKA Big Head. I work at the Red House and I'm black.
At the Red
I like pumping iron.
Are you telling me this isn't real?
Into people's
Yeah, it's not
homes.
real.
It's not real?
No, that's Lincoln. What's his name? You'll see the two
I'm
guys
Johnny,
who sing. This is
AKA
Red House.
10 Gauge. I work at the Red House and I'm white. I like deer hunting, bass fishing, and extending credit.
This may
to
be
all
real,
people.
but Lincoln, what's his name, are making fun of it because I'll point them out.
I'm black and I love the Red House. I'm white and I love the Red House.
I'm a black woman and I love the Red House.
I am white and the Red House is for me.
Those two guys, Rhett and Link.
So those guys, they're comedians?
They're podcasters. They're our rivals.
Look at the
He's
sofa.
giving them free
It's
airtime.
perfect for a black person.
Well, now I can't either.
For a white person.
This mattress is perfect for a white person.
I am.
Or a black person.
At the Red House, where black people and white people buy furniture.
And Hispanic people too.
All people.
Is it?
That's the real info. That is Rhett and Link singing that at the Red House.
I'm in shock. I I don't even know what to say because like
I can Google
look it up because I am impressed. Like I absolutely thought this was a place.
I will say this is normally car or truck selling behavior.
Yeah,
Like,
unbelievable.
Yeah.
That guy's got a lot of hair.
Now he do, yeah, he didn't used to, but yeah, that's those two guys.
Plugs.
I don't know. We'll have to come back and see. Like, we'll have to research and go back and be like, oh, so the Red House actually is a commercial. Those guys were just singing on it.
That's what I was gonna say. Is like my hope is now that it was like they legitimately like sold this to them as a commercial.
Something. Yeah.
It was like this is something. Y'all have to air this. You have to buy up as much advertising on Fox News as you can.
So call them and be like, I just saw your commercial, and they're like, oh, I'm like, what the hell?
Okay, I will warn you. I did watch this one because it started out, and I said, "What are the announcers potentially saying?" So to set this up, there's a gentleman sitting next to a woman who is obviously very in depth talking to her about something, and he's using hand signals that make it clear that the umpires think that they know. Or I'm sorry, the announcers think they know what he's actually saying. So
he's telling her how he used to do it. Yeah, I remember when I was in high school. I threw that nasty curveball. Should have seen him. Had big rotation on it.
See, it has a spin.
Yeah, I'll show you pictures when we get back home. Got some video too. It's black and white, but it's gonna be great. You know what I mean?
She's not buying it either, is she? No.
Please stop talking.
You know what?
Please stop talking.
I could basically be out there with these guys.
Really? Yeah, I mean, I was great. You should say I could have gone pro, but I had an argument with a coach, and we didn't quite see eye to eye.
Yeah, that trick elbow got me.
He didn't like that I wore my.
That's mansplaining. I think we could go ahead and say he's mansplaining something.
No, he definitely is.
I'm
Two fingers on the seam, and I just whip that bad boy.
It's the horseshoe grip. That's how you throw a curveball. The horseshoe grip.
Well, what you want to do is you want to create enough spin so that you actually have like the.
But a knuckleball, it literally just moves like this, no spin. And I couldn't hit that.
It's a butterfly. It just floats.
I found that to be very entertaining.
It was. That's great.
Because I don't know how many baseball games I go to where I'm like literally people are asking me about rules and why did they do such and such, or why didn't they call an infield fly rule on that? Well, there's no runners on, so what would be the point? Like,
guys, I still sit there and go like, what is it? Like, I don't get the 3-2-6 double play or whatever. The clock face numbers or whatever. It never
clock
clicked.
numbers are new, right? The pitch clock, that's new.
Yeah, it has really sped up the game.
Yeah, no, like 2 hours, 20 minutes this year. Last year, the team was averaging 3 hours and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Talk about these young kids and their TikToks.
The seventh gets here way too fast. Stop it.
You know what?
We need to drink another hour.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like, so there's got to be a reason for why they've decided to speed up the game.
They'd be real bastards if they like took the pitch clock away in the seventh and they're like, no more drinks, but the game's going to be a little bit longer.
Yeah, because
these last 3 innings, we're going to make you sweat it out.
I always attributed it to the fact that alcohol sales stop at what, 7th inning, 8th inning? So if they're like at that point, the stadium's not making any more money, right? Technically.
You would be surprised how many ice cream cones you sell to parents who have been listening to their kids whine for the last hour and a half. Right around there where it's like, just let me enjoy the last 9 outs.
Yeah.
That's Dippin' Dots right there.
Yeah.
Like, I want the helmet that's got the pig on it, not the Firefly.
That's great.
I don't know if I could sit through that. I think that's ultimately why.
It's people watching when you like work in industry is even more fascinating because like stereotypes are sometimes there for a reason, right? So when you're like, yes, we sell ice cream and it's primarily to kids.
Right.
Like at first you'll see like parents who bring their kids up and their kids are real well behaved or maybe did something earlier in the day that earned that ice cream.
Yeah.
And then by the end of the game you could tell it's the parents who are way too tired. They've had a couple beers. Now they're starting to get the dehydration headache.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the kid's just like, no, I want the strawberry now. You know,
Jesus Christ, just do it.
Whatever. Give him the big one if it keeps him quiet for an extra 10 minutes.
I'm this close to throwing them on the field. All right. Coffee.
I don't think I've ever had any interactions with that with my kids at baseball games. Oh, I don't take them to baseball games.
I won't. I can't take my kid until she's like at least 4.
Well,
yeah,
and that is why there's a pitch clock now.
Yeah,
we've actually figured it out. Yeah,
you know where they don't use the pitch clock is in the collegiate baseball leagues.
They don't use it in the show, indie ball.
Yeah, the show too.
It's only minor league ball right now, but I'll tell you a little behind the scenes thing. I think it might spread.
Yeah.
Because what they were finding, the reason they instituted it was a lot of people were leaving in the 5th and 6th inning at a lot of different places. So they said, what could we do to make things speed up a little bit? Like, you're not going to leave in the 8th inning in a 1-run game, right? So if they could fast forward to that point, why not? I think there will still be a lot of changes to it, but yeah, they were doing it to keep people in, so that way in the 9th inning you weren't playing in front of 3 people.
Yeah, I was trying to understand the so like it's at what 14 seconds.
14
with nobody
on, 18 with people on, 30 seconds for mound visits, and then 2 minutes between innings.
Gotcha. Yeah, it legitimately it speeds it up a lot. So, all right, this is the last video. This is Zach's, and
this is the same guy who did the meth wagon thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, this guy's fantastic.
We didn't have a lot of work yesterday.
So I just wanted to read it. When the guy who overshares information about his life catches his girl cheating.
Oh, no.
You know how we didn't have a lot of work yesterday, and they let us off early. Yeah. So I get home, and as soon as I open the front door, I hear my girl moaning. I ain't never heard her moan like that, brother. She was screaming out this dude's name. And I walk back there and open the door, and I mean, he is just piping her down. He was piping her down, and he pulls out a little bit, and it was long. It was real long and thick, and my heart right now is just like, listen, brother, I'd keep that to yourself, man.
Some of the details may have just been a little off.
He's just sitting there, the guy who overshares, and he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. You know what? Don't talk. Everyone has that person at work that just talks a little too much, and you're like, I didn't even know where you go to church, Steve.
I don't even work there anymore.
Thank God Barrett's gone.
Office meetings have been cut down by 13 minutes since Barrett left.
That sounds legit. That sounds legit.
Before we start this meeting, you guys never believe white turkey chili. What is it? White chicken chili.
No, white chicken chili. For the life of me, no one has any business making white chicken chili, and you especially do not have any business making white chicken chili when you have cats. So please, for the sake
we've
of
hit
everything,
yeah, no, sir. Barrett, this is a CVS.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
If I ever show up at that Wendy's again, they are not getting money for my Frosties.
Pinto beans, get them out of your chili.
No, I don't mind beans. Why? Why? First of all, what in your brain makes you think, oh, well, I have a lot of chicken here, so, no ground beef? Well, I'll just do the chicken in the... No. This doesn't make any sense. It's not chili. You have made a stew of chicken, which you shouldn't do anyway. No one should
would
be
you be a
stew.
fan of it if it was white?
Is that a chicken pot pie at that point?
A very runny
if it has
chicken
bread?
pot pie.
Without the vegetables?
Yeah.
Well, in which case we've upgraded, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, Mom.
Agreed. This chicken pot pie would be fantastic if it weren't for the crap I don't like called vegetables.
Yeah. This would be really good. All right, that was a great episode. Thank you guys. We had a good time.
Yeah.
You feel like you accomplished anything?
I had the best videos. But what else is new? Just joking. It was great.
Good. No, I'm glad you were joking.
Yeah,
I started laughing too soon. Apparently,
I did. I would have had to remove my head from my ass if I truly believed that.
John, thank you very much for joining us. John, of course, with the Fireflies here in Columbia, South Carolina, the broadcast and media for the. I am completely blank on the actual title of it, but I think I said all of it right.
Yeah,
John, can you rig any contest for me or Barrett?
This guy wants to go on the field and throw out the first pitch.
You know what?
I need a jersey and I need a hat too.
You know what? I could probably promise that we could rig for you.
Can I go sit in the dugout? Can I be a bat boy?
I'm talking rhythmic gymnastics.
Oh, you know what? Okay, so
give him those 2 little streamers and he's dancing on the field.
I'm in it. Let's do this.
I did have an idea, and I don't know who we'd have to talk to, but we could do the orb battle in the outfield. You know,
so that one's actually only staff members.
Is it?
I hate,
that's an inside.
We will not
to ruin
sue
that.
the Columbia Fireflies.
It is only staff members because of an incident with another team in our league.
Oh no!
That didn't go so well with a couple of fans. So when you see them out there, actually, your specific rep, we won't name names on the pod, but your specific rep is oftentimes in one of the bubbles.
Oh, well, then I know who to root for or against.
Well, and when you listen to the names, that when Brad does it specifically for the emceeing, the names are targeted much like your intros. Like we had a shorter red-haired fellow last year who was on our sales team, and they called him the luck of the Irish.
We called them gingers.
Yeah. Well, they were
soulless.
They were saying
dead-eyed.
like, "Oh, luck of the Irish hit him real hard that time." And
here's that shark-eyed ginger we've all been talking about. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah, I imagine that probably gets a little dirty. But they still do the orbs, right?
They do. It's like once a homestand, maybe.
Yeah.
They do mix up the games a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, next time they decide not to have the kids doing the musical chairs, we're in.
See,
is there like a weird adult musical chairs that y'all do?
Or do we have to be in there, right?
Or do we have to just do
fair.
it with the kids, like do the musical chairs, and we're just the weird adults?
Could you imagine?
Is Barrett allowed that close to kids?
Actually, damn it.
I am. It's other people I know that are not, but
he has to wear a vest when he goes to the games and stuff.
I have to sign in.
You don't have anybody sitting around.
I'm chaperoned the whole time.
They know him by name too. It's that weird Barrett guy that's got to sign in because of last Tuesday.
And remember, folks, stay away from section D12. D12, that's where Barrett is.
I'm going to wrap this episode up. I think this is easily the most inappropriate time.
Always a special thanks to Nick the Geek, engineer and producer, as well as owner and operator, GOT Sound Studio at Columbia, South Carolina. To book any time, you can call 803-243-2302. You can email gotsounds@theallaboutnothing.com. You can find details at gotsoundstudio.com or on Facebook. Just search for GOT Sound Studio. As well, special thanks to Muff the Producer, responsible for our beats. Follow him on Instagram at Muff the Producer. If it seems like these episodes are too far apart, you can check out our partner podcast. Zach and I host the All About Nothing podcast with Trent Clark, available on most of your podcast platforms. You can visit theallaboutnothing.com for links and details. As well, you can check out our own DJ Lonzo's Top 5, hosted by Trent Clark, available on most of your podcast listening platforms. Finally, Cari hosts another popular podcast with her partner Chrissy, Status Macabre, on most of the podcast platforms as well. Find details at statusmacabre.com. Follow Zach King on Twitter at CarolinaKing21. You can follow Cari Simmons on Twitter at Cari_Simmons. You can follow me, Barrett Gruber, at Barrett Gruber. And you can follow the show on Twitter at WhatThePodPod. If you'd like to make any suggestions to share on the show, you can email us suggestions at WhatThePodWasThat.com or tweet us. For more information and links, visit our website at whatthepodwasthat.com.
All right.
The second one.
I really want to thank you guys for doing this episode with us. You guys have a great week. Zach, do you want to come up with another catchphrase for this week?
Stay away from the man in D12.
This What the Pod Was That episode was recorded live from the Maddie Johnson Podcast Studio at GOT Sound Studio in Columbia, South Carolina. What the Pod Was That is produced and engineered by Neat the Geek, owner and operator of GOT Sound Studio. To support the show, please follow us on Twitter at WhatThePodPod. What the Pod Was That is an entertainment product of Barrett Gruber. Special thanks to Cari Simmons, Zach King, Muff the Producer, Neek the Geek, and you, our listeners. Please subscribe, rate, review, and share. Thank you for listening. What the Pod Was That is a part of the GOT Podcast Network and a product of Barrett Gruber Entertainment and Media.